Things are escalating very fast right now. Donald Trump has surfaced in New York giving a deranged press conference. Here is what we're learning, and then I'll show you what Donald Trump is saying. We're learning that Iran is striking U.S. air bases in Saudi Arabia right now. Saudi Arabia is indeed under attack in the areas where the U.S. has air bases. Iran warned Saudi Arabia, if you keep using your land for the U.S. to launch strikes against Iran, Iran is not afraid to strike in Saudi Arabia. That's what we're seeing right now. I'll talk more about that in a moment. Also, it should be noted that there are indeed U.S. casualties now being reported following an Iranian strike on a U.S. base in Jordan. You'll recall over the past few days, I've been doing videos about the United States hiding the casualties in this escalation of the war. I did a video talking about this base in Jordan because one of the things that I was showing is the before and after satellite photo. And I was saying that's an area where U.S. troops were positioned currently, and Iran was able to strike that area. I wasn't sure if there was any fatalities. I said, but there must be at least some serious injuries. Then you'll recall my reporting about the medevac planes that were going into the area, and then they were flying into Germany, and they were taking these weird circuitous routes as well, these various medevac flights. And so I didn't know who was on the medevac flights, and I couldn't prove because the satellite image is a very high image. I can't see down who's actually being loaded in. And of course, Trump and CENTCOM now lie about everything, but I was certainly pretty confident that the strike and the medevac planes equaled serious injuries or perhaps worse. The CENTCOM now is denying to CBS, which is regime media, they're denying that there are fatalities, but they're not describing the severity of the injuries of these U.S. soldiers at this Jordan air base. I believe there are casualties at other U.S. military bases as well. And we know that the Trump regime has consistently been covering up U.S. casualties and U.S. injuries. And so I think this is more of the same, but I have been reporting on this, and you may have been watching some of the reports I've been doing and saying, hey, Ben, I'm not hearing this anywhere else. So where are you getting this from? I'm not seeing anybody talk about casualties. I'm not seeing anybody, talking about, a lot of the visuals that you're showing, or about potential ground invasions. Well, what are you talking about? I don't say this to be like, look, I was right again. I want to let you know it's very well researched here. We're getting the information as best we can from the satellite images, from the totality of evidence that exists out there, and we're bringing it to you first. So as noted, Iran launched ballistic missiles at this U.S. air base in Saudi Arabia minutes ago. Barak Ravid, Donald Trump's personal stenographer who acts as a reporter for Axios, said that a U.S. official also notes that Iran launched ballistic missiles towards a air base in Saudi Arabia on Tasnim. That's Iran's state media. They've posted, according to news sources, Iran struck the Sultan bin Abdulaziz air base in the south of Al-Kharj city in Saudi Arabia after the U.S. was using that base to do strikes on Iran. The U.S. has been striking bridges in Iran, 3 more bridges, 2 more bridges, 1 tunnel today. The Shur River Bridge on a road linking Bandar Abbas, a bridge on the main road from Manab to Rudan. Manab is where the U.S. previously slaughtered 168 little girls. And then there was the Shahid Marzai Bridge on the Bandar Abbas Hajiabad route that was reportedly targeted. And as I've been describing the military tactics that the U.S. seems to be employing here, in addition to the fact that they are absolutely war crimes and Trump is a terrorist, and this is acts of terrorism attacking civilians like that. So let me be clear, what that is. It seems that the U.S. is trying to isolate Bandar Abbas and this kind of main port city that's close to Keshem Island, if you look on a map where Keshem is. And then this would seem, when you look at the other U.S. strikes around the coast of Iran, that the U.S. is planning an invasion of Keshem with special forces. That's what it appears to be taking place. I don't know if they'll actually do the ground invasion, but there does appear to be the preparation for a ground invasion of Keshem. And Keshem's right there in the Strait of Hormuz, right? The IRGC route where the ships go through is right there. It hugs basically Keshem, the U.S. has been trying to direct the tankers through the Oman route, as they're calling it, the south route. And then Iran has continued to strike the tankers that use that route. And by the way, Iran has continued to mine the Strait of Hormuz, all outside of the IRGC route. And one of the things, one of the developments from today as well, is that it seems that 2 tankers exploded in the Strait of Hormuz, hitting mines when they tried to use the route that was not the IRGC route, which Iran previously warned that they had put up all of these mines. Yeah, CBS is saying that several U.S. service members injured in Iranian attacks on Jordanian bases this week, sources say. No fatalities have been reported among the Americans or the Jordanians at this time. The severity of those injured is unknown. Just think about that. The severity is unknown. Why is CENTCOM hiding this? Why is the Trump regime hiding this? Like, in normal times, we would know how many people are being injured. Is it in the dozens? Is it in the hundreds? Show the B-roll of what this strike looked like. You'll see right here. One of the reasons we thought there were casualties at King Faisal Air Base in Jordan. Look at the before, look at the after right here, and you can see what's going down. Now, oil prices are surging right now. Not just the crack prices, the delta between crude and refinery prices, which are now past $80 a barrel, the highest crack prices in history, 321 crack prices, as they're called, because 2 go to gasoline, 1 goes to diesel. But crude is about to hit $90 a barrel right here. It closed right short below $90 a barrel. And that's basically up, close to 20% or so in the past 2 to 3 days. And so that number, I think, will hit $100 a barrel soon. And then once we have to deal with the strategic petroleum reserve depletion, which exists right now, Trump is covering it up. Everyone's covering it up. I've been saying strategic petroleum reserves, crack spreads, strategic petroleum reserves, Cushing, Oklahoma, right? I'm like a broken record with this. WTF, by the way. That's what I keep on saying. WTF. Pre-order, by the way, WTF now. So climbing the charts. This comes out in October, WTF America. But that's my reaction to all of this. Literally, what the WTF, and it's dedicated to you, the Meidas Mighty. So make sure you pre-order it. I'm sure we have the link is in the description, but just you can click on the QR code. All right. So what's Trump saying with all of this? Trump is in the Trump Tower and he decides, I'm going to do a press conference. Okay. Are you going to talk about the fact that essentially we're in a world war right now? That the world is at war, that there's a regional war in the Middle East because of your weakness and your war crimes and how pathetic you are and that you can't do a deal and that you're a scumbag and a loser? Is that what your press conference? No, he says, they rigged the election. They rigged it. So now the World Cup is happening because they rigged it. Here, play this clip.
They rigged the election, and what did I get? I got the World Cup. I got the Olympics, and I brought them here. I tried to take credit for 250 years, but that didn't work out as well. I tried to say I created 250 years. That one didn't work, but I did get the Olympics, and we got this. And I don't know, this might be bigger than the Olympics. Tell me, is it bigger?
Much bigger.
All right, I'll take his word for it.
Then Donald Trump claims that his dad came from Germany. No, your dad was born in the United States. Your dad did not come from Germany. He was born literally in New York. Here, play this clip.
You know, it's like having many Super Bowls. Hey, Bob, every stadium is packed to the rafters, the spirit. But fans from 200 countries attended 104 games spread across 16 Northern American cities. And I saw things happen. My mother comes from Scotland. My father comes from Germany. When I saw the Scottish bagpipes and the Scottish, they were going wild. I said, this is really different.
And then Donald Trump says that he and he alone, he goes, I was the only person who noticed. Messi dribbled the ball, like Trump doesn't have a vocabulary. Messi dribbled the ball around and then did this move where he scored. No one else noticed it but me. I noticed it. This is what you're talking about while you're engaged in these war crimes in Iran, while Iran is retaliating, while there are U.S. casualties. This is what you are doing. WTF. Here, play this clip.
I watched Messi and he was well guarded, right? Well guarded. And all of a sudden, he's standing on the right. You understand what I'm talking about? I don't know if anybody, I just noticed it. Nobody talked about it. I just noticed it. I said, he's so well guarded by a great player. And then he moved to the right, and the other player was just standing there. And he had plenty of time. He kicked it. It was within, I would say, a quarter of an inch of being perfect. And that was the end of the game. It was brilliant.
Then Donald Trump goes and says, Gianni Infantino, you made the best decision by allowing Flo Ballagrin, the U.S. player, to remove his red card. Thank you for doing me a solid. Here, play this clip.
Between these two amazing teams, and it's going to be something I think really special. This has been a tournament like no other, filled with fierce competition, unforgettable moments, yet unforgettable moments. Like probably the most unforgettable is when they gave that gentleman, is it a red card? And I was forced to call Johnny and just make a recommendation. I said, Johnny, I'd like to make a recommendation. Let the guy in the game. No, I didn't say that. I said, I'd like to wage a complaint. And actually, I had no idea what was going to happen, but.
And then Donald Trump lies and says that there were 450,000 people who watched his speech on July 4th. I think the number was like 2,000, 1,500, 3,000. And so this is what, just to be clear, everything I said at the beginning of this video is happening. The world is falling apart right now. We're in a global economic catastrophe. There is a massive regional war crimes by Donald Trump. Iran is responding. And this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Here, play this clip.
We had an amazing crowd. 450,000 people showed up to celebrate our country on a very rainy evening. And because of lightning, everybody was forced to leave. And then I said, we're going to do it anyway, even if I have to speak at 2 o'clock in the morning. We called everybody back, and 150,000 people came back. They were on their way back to Texas and Oklahoma.
There you have it, everybody. Let me know what you think. A reminder, pre-order now, WTF. This book is dedicated to you. It's written by Ben Brett Jordy and frankly by the Meidas Mighty. I dedicate the first page to you. I channel you, so this is your book, WTF America. Pre-order it now. It comes out in October. But do the pre-order right now. It's climbing the charts. I want to get it to #1. I want to get you to #1. It's hit subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Breaking news right now, my brothers and I wrote a book. It's called WTF America. And well, doesn't that just say it all? It comes out officially this October, but you can pre-order your copy today. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description below.